So I got a lot of reactions from my video last week on the fact that women of our generation are not worse than their mothers, and mostly from women, understandably so. And one of the things that came back a few times in comments or in people, messaging me is the notion that somehow men want what they're not giving, and that men now are not like our fathers used to be, because our fathers used to be more loving, they used to be better husbands, they used to be more family members, they used to be this, they used to be that, and this new generation of men just don't have the same, they're just not as good as our fathers used to be. And I think that statement is equally ridiculous, because just like women, I think women are not worse. In fact, they're better. I also believe that men now, this generation of men, are not worse than our fathers. In fact, I think they're better than our fathers. Now, for people that think that, oh, my dad used to be so good, and my men in my family used to be so good, the question that I have for them is, so who were the abusive ones? Who are the men that built who are the men that built this macho society that was centered around men? I think one thing that we do, and sometimes unconsciously, is that in the process of analyzing society and criticizing how men behave, we often exonerate our male family members. So most people think the best of their dads and their uncles. And even in times when their dads have behaviors that are less than exemplary, or their brothers have behaviors that are less than exemplary in their marriages, in their lives, they will find a reason to justify why they behave the way that they behave and why it's the fault of the woman. And I find that women do this a lot, right? So we get to this place where we're very comfortable challenging society until it comes to our own people. And I think, until it comes to our own people, and we lose this sense of accountability and rational. And honestly, I think that as a society, we have to be able to hold, like, if we believe in something, then we have to be able to hold everyone accountable to that same standard. And it starts by accepting that as much as we respect our dads and our uncles and the male family members, we have to recognize that they built the society that we're in. They raised us to be the way that we are. They are the reason why there is this male-centric culture in which we are, that's built around serving them. And as we work to change that and improve that, we have to acknowledge where it comes from, and then we have to raise our children to be better. But suggesting that now things are worse, men are worse than what they used to be, I think is also an inaccurate way of looking at our culture. And ultimately, I think we need to approach this problem not from the blame angle, in terms of who is worse now than they used to be and who's to blame for how things are, but from the angle of evolution, right? Which is understanding that as time goes on, society changes and circumstances changes and people evolve, right? Something that used to work or may have worked 50 years ago may not necessarily work today, because people have changed, people have evolved. And the question that we need to be asking ourselves is, what do we need to do to understand, first of all, how we got to where we were 50 years ago, and what about what we used to do needs to be updated such that we can create an environment that is more fair to everyone, that empowers everyone to express themselves, to fulfill their full potential, an environment in which we would want our daughters and our sons to grow, right? And I think if we approach the problem with that mindset, the mindset of this is not just for society. I want to create an environment, I want to create a society in which I would want my son or my daughter to live. I want to raise a son that I would want my daughter to get married to. I want to raise a daughter that I want my son to get married to. I want to create a society, an environment where I would want my daughter to live and my son, and be open-minded enough to recognize the things that didn't work, and have conversations and engage honestly in conversations to change those things and create an environment that is more conducive for everyone. On that note, until next time.